Anyway.
Call me in order and call on Councilor Barton to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll.
Councilor Brown.
Here.
Councilor Weaver.
Here.
Councilor Broughton. Councilor Watson. Councilor Barton.
Here.
Mayor Lovelace.
Here.
We have a quorum to do business.
Approval of the minutes of the March 11th, 2019 regular meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes of the March 11th regular meeting.
Second.
Motion by Councilor Brown, second by Councilor Barton to approve the minutes of the regular meeting on March 11th, 2019. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Councilor Brown?
Yes.
Councilor Weaver?
Yes.
Councilor Barton?
Yes.
Motion carries and the minutes are approved.
I'd like to welcome our visitors here. There's several people here today that are not normally here, so it's good to see you. Next item is approval of the agenda. Are there any additions or deletions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Agenda is approved. First item is to consider an economic development grant for Flannel and Floral. That's a proposed cabinet company and like a maker's market retail part in the front. It's a grant for approximately $20,000. So I'll call the public hearing to order. And is there anyone here that would like to speak in favor of this?
We would.
So I'm Megan Brantley. This is my husband, Shannon Brantley. We were both born and raised in Brewton somewhat. I was. Shannon's kind of somewhat from Castleberry and Flemington too.
I went to graduated. Don't know much else but Brewton. So. We do have a cabinet shop now. We've had a woodworking business. The cabinet shop's fairly new, but the woodworking, we've been doing this since 2015. Officially, we were working before that, but we would make our wares and go all over the southeast and sell, and we've done really well with it. We've met so many people along the way that have helped and would also be a great asset to a maker's market, which is what we're looking to do. The cabinet shop, is kind of already there. We're still making improvements on it, but what we need help with is more of a maker's market for Brewton.
Yeah. Since we've been doing this, we've actually gotten quite a bit of press that we've never really asked for. People have just came to us, and we've been in a lot of magazines, a little bit of online publications. And this is just a list of some of the things that we've been in. And once again, we just started doing what we loved, and it kind of grew into something that everyone else loved. So we just want to grow that even more. We have met a lot of really amazing artists over these past 4 years, like Shannon said earlier. So we want to feature those artists. Most of them are from Alabama in a storefront. We have some of the magazines we've been in up here. If you guys get a chance later before you leave, you're welcome to look through any of it. This is Highland Woodworking, which is where I bought my first tools to carve anything with. They actually featured me in an article, which I thought was quite an honor. So what we're kind of going for is, I asked someone a few weeks ago, when people come to Brewton, say you have a cousin who's coming down to the beach from Birmingham, and they say, hey, we're going to be coming by Brewton. Like, what's something really cool we could see on the way? And most people kind of struggle with like an actual location to send people. There's something different, something that our town has to offer that not everywhere does. So that's kind of where we're coming in. So like we actually were featured in the Alabama Tourism Department magazine, but we weren't able to put an actual location. We only had a website. So like when people, want to go places in Alabama, we're in there, but we don't have an actual physical place for them to visit other than our house. And we don't really want a bunch of strangers showing up at our house. So when we searched for Brewton and we kind of decided to see what would be offered for people to see when they visit our town, this was kind of what came up. So we want to be here on this. If you look on the Alabama Tourism Department website, this is the image that comes up. And like we were at this event. This was Southern Makers in Montgomery.
Southern Makers is still a pretty big deal. And there's places kind of all in Alabama. There's up and around Florence, they have little hubs in Huntsville and Birmingham and even Montgomery, but there's nothing to the south of Montgomery. So we could be that with all the people that we know.
We know most all of these artists, and these are all on the tourism website. And throughout the years that we've been doing this, I mean, almost every one of these people we've formed a relationship with. So we want to have their stuff in our shop. So basically, the cabinet shop will be the meat and potatoes. That's what we're really going to be doing there. We're going to have the building regardless.
That's going to pay the bills. We're not looking to make a living with the Maker's Market. What the Maker's Market's going to do, it'll help us. It's advertisement, people coming in, but it's also, it'll be like, more of a tourist type thing. But it's going to help us in getting people in the door. Oh, you guys do this, you guys do that. And in that sort of aspect for us, but I think it could also be something good for the city to have a destination.
Yep, so we've met a lot of really interesting people and we learned a lot of cool things and we've met people that we think offer something different and something that's Southern, which is what we really want to push for. So, these are just some things that we've made. I'm trying to go quickly.
And also the building is that we're getting into is really large. It's an old building, part of the old Unifirst, and it's going to give us plenty of room to grow in the future. She's a teacher. I taught at Troy State pottery for a year, and I love to teach when people come in about woodworking and hand tools and things like that. We want to do workshops. We want to do little things like that to, for the community and, for us, because we just love to do it. But the place would give us another avenue to do things like that.
Yeah, we would love to teach people in the community how to do simple things like, anything with woodworking or any other classes. So that's definitely a future growth goal that we'd like to have there. So basically, this is what we would be using the money for. It would be just for the storefront, not necessarily for the cabinet shop. That's something we're going to be doing on our own, but it needs some work. We need to separate the actual maker's market or the storefront from the rest of the cabinet shop. So we'll need to build a wall, and we'll need to do some electrical work and a lot of other things to kind of get it where it needs to be so we can start making an actual shop of it. You guys have any questions?
When do you think, or you're not in the building yet, right?
We're talking to the bank Thursday to finalize everything there. We've already come to an agreement with the building owner, so it won't be long.
And in these classes, will you all have a set price for fee?
It would depend. We've talked about all that kind of stuff. Once again, this isn't. I'm not looking to make a living on all of that. That's stuff that's it's just fun. It's going to help us too with the cabinet shop. It'll get people in to see what we do. But anybody that's ever come by the cabinet shop now knows that if I can show you something. Sheriff Grover used to come by about once a week and asking me things, and I just thoroughly enjoyed it. But I thought about, as far as the classes go, if it's, let's say making a box or something, a chest, figure out what the materials are, charge for the materials, and have people come in on the weekend. It's fun for me and it'd be fun for them.
That sounds great.
And, working on the lathe, it's just.
And I was also thinking about like for me as a woman, the past 4 years going to all these events and like these big woodworking events, I'm one of the very few women who are there that aren't just there with their husbands. But I think women kind of have a little bit of a fear as far as getting in the wood shop goes, and I would love to teach just like some simple woodworking classes for women. I mean, anyone, but women especially, I think would like to learn just little things like how to put, drawer pulls on a drawer at home when yours come off or something like that. I think people are a little scared of those types of things, but there's a lot of simple things you can do that aren't that hard, that don't require a whole lot of really expensive tools,
Would there be booths inside the building inside?
What we're looking at is, the building is on the inside 48 feet wide, and we're looking at doing the first 60 feet. And we don't really want it to be like a booth, like a flea market kind of thing. We want it to be more of a store. Obviously all the artists will have information on all of them, but instead of it being, this is where George Jones Jr.'s brooms are gonna be, and this is where Great Bear Wax's candles, we'd like to kind of filter them out to give it more of a homely feel and inviting look.
And like utilizing things in our community, like I don't know if you guys ever remember the old store out in Wallace, Alabama. That's where my family's from, but my uncle bought that years ago. So Mr. Gilmore's old store. So he has tons of old things that were actually in the store when it was open. And so we want to be able to use things that have a past and have a story about things that have happened in our community and try to preserve that.
Yeah, some of the shelving that we're going to use from the old Gilmore store, anything like that in the community, we would be interested in picking up.
Yeah.
We're both history lovers, and just from the hand tool stuff. I mean, I've got saws that from the 1850s that just to hold it, to think of what it, the hands that held it before. I deeply appreciate heritage.
Any other questions? I appreciate it.
Thank you for your time.
Is anyone here that wants to speak in opposition? Not, I close that public hearing. And another public hearing, this is for an economic development grant for William Jernigan. This is to furnish and remodel his building in downtown Brewton for a restaurant. This would amount to, if you took his gross sales and applied our sales tax to it, his gross sales is about estimated at about 2.1 million, the 4% tax, so about he's asking for about $65,000 in help only using that sales tax number. Is anyone here? Open the public hearing, and is anyone here like to speak in favor of this?
Thank y'all very much for taking the time to hear me today. My name is William Jernigan. Me and my family bought the building downtown almost 2 years ago. Our plans have, from the beginning, to open up a restaurant down there. Our concept is going to be a steakhouse, a little bit higher end, great service, great food coming out. Our chef is a disabled veteran from Boston in New York area. So he has a little bit of a flair on his dishes. It's not just going to be on a rounded plate and thrown on there. It's going to be decorated and presented well. But yes, our request for the grant will help finish getting the building ready. We've been working on it for a couple of years now. We've done a lot, just a little bit more left to do. If we're able to get this grant, we're hoping to be open by summertime. And I'll take any questions you may have.
Questions?
No? Excited.
Have you come up with a final name yet?
We are going to open it up once we get the building finished. We're going to open it up to the City of Brewton, the residents, to decide on the name. We're going to give them a few options and have a contest for a couple of weeks.
If you do that dash for cash, you'll get a lot of people.
There you go.
You will.
Any other questions?
It's good.
Thank you, Reed.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Is anyone here that wants to speak in opposition? I'll close that public hearing. Next item under new business, to approve a back-to-school sales tax holiday, resolution number 19-0325. And the dates of that would be what?
July, it'll be starting on Friday, July 19th, and run till midnight on Sunday, July 21st.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 19-0325.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Weaver, second by Counselor Brown, to approve resolution number 19-0325. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Counselor Brown?
Yes.
Counselor Weaver?
Yes.
Counselor Barton?
Yes.
Motion carries, and the resolution to approve the back-to-school tax holiday is approved.
The next item is approve a uniform, mat, and supply services agreement with Unifirst Corporation, resolution 19-0325-1, and I'll call on the city clerk.
Okay. This is uniforms for employees, primarily who work in the street department, public works, utilities departments, and that would be mostly what it is. And also, you know, we have floor mats or mats for doorways in facilities around town. They service that, they provide the uniforms, come and pick them up on a weekly basis to clean them and that sort of thing. This is a contract we've had previously with Cintas for the last 3 years, and the cost had gotten pretty high. This is actually about the estimated cost under the, with Unifirst, who is the low bidder here, is about a third of what we've been paying on a weekly basis, about $338 a week rather than over $1,000. Let's see here. This is a bid tab where we estimating what it's very difficult to compare every item that's involved in the cost of these contracts, but we tried to pare it down to boil it down to something that makes sense here, and we got an average per item cost on the uniforms. It's like a shirt, 24 cents a week, pants, whatever it would be. But the average cost, you can see, for uniforms on Unifirst was about 24 cents. There was a bid from a Taylor Linen in Andalusia at 70 cents, and Cintas, who we were with, this is their new bid, not what we were paying for the last 3 years. But their new reduced bid is 30 cents. So you can see that Unifirst had the best price on that. Average per item on the mats, and you can see those too. Unifirst considerably lower. Estimated total cost per week, Unifirst $338.72. Cintas is now quoting us at about $406. The Unifirst contract would be for 3 years, and it does have built in a 5% annual increase. So you're going to have this cost $336 or $338. I think it's $338 a week is going to be for a year. The second year it'll be 5% more, which is $15, $16, $17 more per week. And then the next year would be another 5%. So a total of 10% higher than that in the final 2 years. Whereas Cintas has no increases guaranteed, but they're already at $408 for the whole time. So low bidder, Unifirst.
You said per week, but you have typed on your spreadsheet per month. Is it per week or per month?
It is per week. Yeah, that's wrong. It's per week.
It's per week.
Per week, yes. Any questions?
Motion. You want a motion? Okay, I'm on motion to approve 19-0325-1.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Brown to approve resolution number 19-0325-1. That motion seconded by Counselor Weaver. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Counselor Brown?
Yes.
Counselor Weaver?
Yes.
Counselor Barton?
Yes.
Motion carries, and the resolution to approve the service agreement with Unifirst is approved.
Next item is to set a date for a public hearing to consider an economic development draft for Longleaf Machine Works, Resolution 19-0325-2.
Make a motion to approve resolution number 19-0325-2.
Second.
The date of that hearing would be when?
Well, let's see. That is April 22nd.
Okay.
Motion by Counselor
Weaver.
Weaver, second by Counselor Barton, to approve resolution 19-0325-2. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Counselor Brown?
Yes.
Counselor Weaver?
Yes.
Counselor Barton?
Yes.
Motion carries, and the resolution to approve a public hearing for an economic development grant to Longleaf Machining is approved.
The next item, it's not a resolution, it's just a motion.
That's right.
The next item is just a motion. The City of Brewton recognizes Earth Day is Monday, April the 22nd, 2019.
Motion to approve.
Motion by by Mayor Lovelace to approve the observation of Earth Day in the City of Brewton, and
Second.
second by,
That's what she did.
okay, second by Counselor Barton, also to approve. Is there any discussion?
And we will have actually dumpsters and things out on April the 20th, that's Saturday, but we'll have lots more information out on where and when, the times.
Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. Counselor Brown?
Yes.
Counselor Weaver?
Yes.
Counselor Barton?
Yes.
Motion carries, and the Earth Day, April 22nd, with the pickups being done on Saturday, the 20th, is approved.
Next is a proclamation. I'm going to read a proclamation in recognition of Kids to Park Day in the City of Brewton. Whereas May 18, 2019 is the 9th Kids to Parks Day, organized and launched by the National Park Trust, held annually on the 3rd Saturday of May. And whereas Kids to Parks Day empowers kids and encourages families to get outdoors and visit America's parks, and whereas it is important to introduce a new generation to our nation's parks, and whereas we should encourage children to lead a more active lifestyle to combat the issues of childhood obesity, diabetes, I cannot pronounce that word, hypertension, and I can't even pronounce that medical word either. And whereas Kids to Park Day is open to all children and adults across the country to encourage a large and diverse group of participants. And whereas Kids to Parks Day will broaden children's appreciation for nature and outdoors. And now therefore the City Council of the City of Brewton does hereby proclaim to participate in Kids to Park Day. The City Council urges residents of the City of Brewton to make time, May 18, 2019, to take the children in their lives to a neighborhood, state, or national park. Proclaim this 25th day of March 2019. And I'll defer to the clerk if anything else to add.
Have nothing.
Meeting adjourned.